Hi, this is Mike Smith, President of AeroCom, the easiest way for your company to purchase telecom, internet, and cloud services. So today I'm going to continue on with my series on the best business phone systems. And today in particular, I'm going to talk about the best business phone systems for medium to large size companies. All right, so if you have a bigger company, meaning that you have maybe over 50 employees, maybe 100 employees or more, you're getting into that mid-size to large company. And you're definitely, the bigger you get, the more you're going to want some different phone system features than micro to small size companies. So number one, large companies should be looking at hosted VoIP phone systems. I know that might shock some of you. I know there's a lot of people who believe hosted systems are just for small companies, but it's actually the opposite. Let me tell you why. Large companies typically have multiple locations. When you have multiple locations, configuring a phone system in a lot of different cities across the United States or the world, making that phone system, each box talk to each other, can be really complicated. To make matters even more complicated, you've got to connect all those sites back to headquarters a lot of times. So with a hosted system, it's super easy. The phones just ship out to the different sites, they plug and play, they're already pre-configured. Much easier to set up, much easier to get to work. Also, call quality is going to be a lot better. Why? Because all the individual phones that are at the different sites in different cities aren't having to connect all the way back to one another. With hosted, they're actually just connecting to the service provider's nearest data center. So the distance between each site and where it's connecting to is a lot shorter when you go with a hosted system. Also, a hosted system is more flexible. You can add or remove users as needed, and you only pay for what you need. Large companies go through a lot of changes where they might lay off a bunch of employees, hire a bunch of employees, buy another company, sell off a division. You need a phone system to be flexible, and hosted definitely fits that bill. Lastly, hosted has more uptime. So with hosted, no matter what happens to the power, to the connectivity, all the calls are still being answered in the cloud and can easily be redirected from any computer with an internet connection or even your cell phone. So you can easily reroute calls to another site. Again, large companies typically have multiple sites. And then also a lot of the users are going to have mobile apps and soft phones. So really, your mobile phone can become like your handset. So even if you lose internet connectivity at any of your sites, all of your users can still use their phone through the mobile app on their handset. And that you can log on online, and if you want, you could reroute all calls to another site. So a lot more uptime is possible with hosted. So large companies need a lot of uptime, and hosted is going to give you the most options for uptime. Okay, so another thing you want to pay attention to if you're a large company shopping for a phone system is with those hosted phone systems that you're looking at, you want to really pay close attention to the cost per user. Large companies typically do not fit the pricing structure of most hosted VoIP companies, and let me tell you why. Most hosted VoIP companies charge you for a call path for every single user, and then your per user charge is very high. Now think about this. If you have 500 employees, do you need 500 simultaneous call paths? Probably not. So why are you paying for them? Absolutely not. Do not pay for a provider that's going to charge you for a call path for every single user. Instead, find a provider that charges separately for call paths and users. That will almost cut your cost in half for hosted VoIP if you're a large company. So the third thing you need to look for if you are a bigger company shopping for a phone system is a hosted VoIP provider who allows you to add and remove users manually. What I mean by that is that a lot of hosted VoIP companies make it to where you have to call them in order to add a new user, to provision a brand new user, or to delete a user off your account. They call that a billable change, and they require you to contact them and open up a ticket. Now, I know most of you IT folks out there, that is a big pain in the neck. You do not, if you have a lot of employees coming and going all the time from your company and you have some spare phones sitting there, your boss walks in at, say, 10 o'clock in the morning says, hey, I forgot to tell you we have a new user. Can you have them up and running on the phone system before noon? The last thing you're going to want to do is call your provider and have to wait for them to do it. You want to just be able to do it. It takes like 5 minutes. So you want to be able to add and remove users manually on your own if you're a big company, because if you're a big company, chances are new users are coming all the time and users are leaving all the time. You want that to be as efficient, as fast as possible. So along the same lines as adding users, the fourth thing you want to look for a phone system if you're a larger company is a hosted VoIP provider who allows you to make custom templates for users. So what that will do is, as you add new users, because that's happening a lot of times in larger companies, you're not having to start from scratch and customize their permissions every single time. So if you have somebody starting in management versus sales versus an executive assistant, or all these different roles within the company, as we all know, each of those roles has different permission levels and visibility over other employees. You don't want to have to go through every new employee and checkbox one permission at a time every single time a user is added. You want to have a template where you say, okay, a salesperson is being added. Let me add a salesperson to the mix, and automatically all the right permissions are populated. A lot of providers do not have that option. So if you're a larger company, that's a really important one that could be a big time saver for you. Okay, finally, the last thing that you really want to pay attention to if you're a bigger company when you shop for phone systems is you want to find a provider that allows you to do a hybrid phone system. So what that means is you want to find a provider who will allow you to add their new hosted phone system into the mix for some of your locations, and that system will talk with all of your existing on-prem systems until you convert those locations over. Because we all know if you have a large company with a lot of different sites and a lot of users, you are not going to convert the whole company over on the same day. There's no way. So you want to find a provider that will allow you to convert one site at a time, yet still allow the entire company to communicate on one phone system. You don't want to have two phone systems going on for a year or so while this conversion is taking place. So make sure you find a provider that allows you to do a hybrid phone system between their hosted system and your existing on-prem system. All right, so those are the 5 things that I would definitely look for if you're a larger company shopping for a phone system. Now, obviously there's a lot of other features and functionalities and things like that you're going to want to look for, but those 5 things in particular really pertain to larger companies and separate your needs from the smaller companies. I hope that was helpful, and I will catch you next time. And as always, if you need to know which providers do this stuff, you can always go to our website, aerocominc.com, and go to the search bar, type in hosted VoIP. You'll find our hosted VoIP provider finder where you can search over 100 providers for features like I talked about today. And if you have any questions, as always, shoot me an email or give me a call. The links will be in the notes on this video. Have a great day.